Have you ever noticed how there seems to be a double standard when it comes to, video game, when it comes to anything really, okay? For instance, the Xbox Series X or, PlayStation 5, there always seems to be a bit of a, concern, or when it comes to, I'm just going to get to the crux of the situation. When it comes to something like, let's just say Halo Infinite or Forza Horizon 5. Like lately, Halo Infinite's been getting a lot of bad news. They're possibly delaying the multiplayer test again because of issues. The XP situation is horrendous. No campaign co-op, no Forge, no assassinations, no ray tracing at launch, and no leaderboards at launch. Again, all stuff that really just goes to show that this game is not really ready for launch, but you have this large contingent of people out there still kind of damage controlling and making it seem like everything's A-okay. And I just got to be honest with you, I'm not okay with that. I can't help it. I would love to say, it's fine, but to be honest with you, I just can never really say something's okay if it's not okay, and I'll never be the type of person to do that or to say those kind of things, because as a consumer, I feel like it's my right, not only my right, but it's also everybody's duty. If you're a fan, duty, but if you're a fan, you should really get out there and speak your mind when it comes to this stuff. I don't understand why people are so afraid to do that. Honestly, I don't. But I do want to get into this. What's up, everybody? It's me, Crapgamer, with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I certainly appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that. You guys have been absolutely amazing, and I want to say thank you very, very much. Now, one of the cool things about, looking in from the outside when it comes to this whole console war nonsense is that you can kind of notice some of these things, right? Xbox fans have incredibly high standards for PlayStation games, right? And everything PlayStation. Oh, that PlayStation event was garbage. Meanwhile, have you seen the last 5 Xbox events? Or, hey, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, that's garbage. That's only a, 83, 84 Metacritic. Have you seen, 85% of Xbox games over the past 5 years? An 83, 84 Metacritic would be absolutely incredible. When we look at anything that honestly has anything to do with gaming, we just look Battletoads. We look at, Tell Me Why or whatever that crap was. Trying to think of some games that even came out. Bleeding Edge. A lot of crap, and that continues to be the case. Just like with Forza Horizon 5. Listen, I think Forza Horizon 5 is going to be a good game, right? It's going to be a great game. It's going to be probably the highest scoring Xbox game. Now, with that being said, even Playground Games are, a team that can downgrade a game. Like a lot of times you sort of have these situations where you have a game and maybe it's, especially when it comes to cross-gen stuff. Cross-gen stuff tends to get really kind of thrown into the mix. You just kind of throw it out there, right? Like, oh, hey, if it can't run on cross-gen, then you have to downgrade stuff, and, things happen. And I think that that's probably this case. So anyway, there was a situation with this game, and they showed some new footage, which I'm not going to show because it was on the IGN channel, but I will link this so you can check it out. They showed some new footage of the Forza Horizon 5 game, and it doesn't look as good as what we previously saw from the game, and it just makes you wonder, why is it that so many people are just okay with less, and then they're so hard and so harsh when it comes to the stuff on PlayStation. I don't think I'll ever really understand it. For me personally, when you see stuff like this, you just kind of go, well, who would be okay with this? This looks like a pretty substantial downgrade. And this is a cross-gen game, and this is a game that's not even with ray tracing in the game itself. So, and to be honest with you, it looks a lot like the other games. So with that being said, what's the deal with it? Like, that's the thing that I kind of don't understand. I'm just at a loss for words when it comes to a lot of this stuff. Now, it's also one of those things when it comes to like something like Halo Infinite. Like, who is okay with the benchmark franchise on Xbox, right? Who's okay with the benchmark franchise on Xbox launching in such disarray, even after a year plus of being delayed? I can't imagine what this game would have been like if they would have actually released it last year, right? Like, what would have not been there? That's like a huge question that I have right now. Like, honestly, what wouldn't have been there? I mean, it's already looks pretty bad, and not only does it look bad, but we're in a very much a situation where it looks bad, and it still doesn't look like they've really done much to it, and we still haven't seen. Here we are, almost in October, and we still haven't seen a stitch of gameplay on an Xbox from the actual campaign. So, the last bit of campaign that we've gotten was that terrible stuff that we ended up with Craig the Brute, right? And it just doesn't look like, they care. I think that it's something that is really unfortunate. I also think that, it's just a sad state of affairs that, as fans, we kind of get saddled with this stuff. You know what I mean? I do hope that one day people can look past the fanboyism. And I know a lot of people go, oh, well, that's rich because you're a big fanboy or whatever. Listen, I'm not, man. I'll play games wherever they are. I play on Xbox, on PlayStation, on the Switch. It don't really matter. But for me, I demand better. And that's, I think, the point of contention for a lot of people when it comes to how I am. Now when it comes to Halo Infinite, how are people okay with this game launching with the least amount of content any Halo's ever launched with, especially given the issues of Halo 5? And I originally kind of liked Halo 5, and then it grew a little sour on me through the years when you go back and you look at it and you go, yeah, that campaign wasn't really great. Like, I couldn't tell you the names of anybody outside of Buck, Locke, and Chief. Like, the other characters in there, I have no freaking clue who they were. It seems like maybe they just kind of forced some people in there. There was like those weird walking levels and stuff. Chief was hardly in it. The multiplayer I thought was fine eventually. Again, that launched with no Forge, but to think that this game had 6+ years in development, like, at what point was this game really, like, you have to start to wonder if some of the rumors and things were true, that this game had to be completely rebooted in like 2018 or something. That could be really, I think, the only real excuse that I can think of for not having basic things like co-op, which every other Halo game has had. Obviously no Forge at launch. I get that Halo 5 didn't have Forge either, and that's unfortunate, but for me, I just do not understand the process behind 6+ years of development. And then basically you're going to need the equivalent of almost 7 years by the time you get everything else in there that should have been there at launch, the Forge and things like that, and the XP system. The XP system really doesn't make much sense to me, because I get why Battle Royales do what they do, but this Halo game doesn't have Battle Royale. It seems like it's just basically trying to get people to spend a ton of money. And that's really kind of unfortunate, because, again, when we see how Halo is, like, and again, I like to point this out because people like to shove stuff right back at me. Oh, you're always wrong about this stuff. I already said that I expect Halo Infinite to be the largest Halo ever in terms of, players day one or whatever. They'll come out there and announce it and stuff like that, and good for that. But I also think that there's going to be an issue where people aren't going to want to play the game because it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. You know what I mean? It's not what's supposed to been there from the start. And without something like a battle royale, the people that are tempted to try it aren't probably going to find something that they like to replace that, and are probably very much going to just kind of give up on it before too long. I don't know. Just stop accepting less as an Xbox fan, but expecting more from PlayStation. It doesn't make any sense. Cut it out. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up, crap gamer out.